if there was an Illuminati, we're about to enter the Silicon Valley Illuminati. This is where the future is being built. Very excited to take you guys along.
Yeah, an insane schedule. Super blessed. My first time doing the rounds here. Dinner with Sam Altman, Vlad Tenev at Robinhood, Benchmark, Founders Fund, Trey Stevens, Sequoia, Applied Intuition, Kesar, brand new to Twitter.
Learn and then share and then teach, and we all grow together. I think that's a fun thing about venture capital. It's not just like transaction, collab, never see each other again. We're gonna be building companies, investing, scaling together. That's what's gonna be really fun.
I got the bug, Jeff. I got the bug.
I think
Bro,
it's so good for you to see it.
This shit is so cool, bro. This is it, man.
Hey, Logan, pleasure. Nice to meet you, man. Hey, Logan, pleasure.
Just for context, like I've known Jeff for a long time, been learning from him. Obviously, I'm sure you guys saw all the buzz about Anti Fund in the last couple of weeks. Jeff started the fund with Jake. Logan, who's been investing in a bunch of stuff very early on, just joined them as a general partner. So we do a lot with Anti Fund. We obviously love Jeff and Jake's my first time meeting Logan today, but
It's been good. It's been good so far.
Yeah,
right?
it's been okay.
It's been
well, don't fuck it up. Logan's in town, so we thought we bring a bunch of you guys together. He wants to spend time with the youth and have you guys ask a bunch of questions and just take it from there. Just very relaxed. Nothing on the agenda. Obviously, Jeff.
I mean, I think first, I think what Carlo and Coco and the Nova team are building is awesome. I'm a tiny LP in Nova, so not just like kind words, but also supporting with capital and our time and energy. But I think really the reason why Logan, Jake, myself are building Anti Fund is that, one, we think the best founders are anti how things have been done previously. And I think that Logan is a great paragon of that. And he was essentially like the original influencer that changed how we interact with media and content. He's taken over WWE, he's taken over hydration beverages with Mr. Beast, he's taking out Lunchables and little like lunchbox snacks. So I think in terms of Logan as not just like a celebrity or influencer, I really see him as an entrepreneur and a disruptor like each of us want to be. I think what Nova is building as well, right? So this is why, like, in terms of just like partnering with other VCs, like this is our, one of our key partners, just getting the best of the next generation coming through. That's what we see in you guys. You guys are the next generation of builders that are gonna fuck up how things are being done, and that's the energy we want to support them back. And one thing that we were talking about this morning is that it feels like Silicon Valley is almost like the high school classroom again. It's just like, what if you get like the math autist kids and partner with like the alpha jocks and the class clowns? That group would take over the school. So hopefully this will be like a start of a new friendship that we continue building over time. But ultimately, just like who can control culture and taste of which products win. That's where Logan's world class at just building himself as a product essentially. But now it's like, okay, can we scale it up to be focusing that attention and taste into the stuff that you guys are building together?
It's interesting that you see yourself like primarily as a brand person, because like your success is obvious and we're all like in awe of it. And it's interesting that you thought about like communicating the values first. And there are a bunch of strategies we can take. We can distribute and make content very easily, and maybe that's the hook that reels people in. But I would much prefer for people to organically talk about the brand and talk about the platform rather than a specific world on the platform. And so you can actually make your own world really easily and go and explore it. So I'm curious if you have any advice there.
Yeah, so the first thing I'd say is definitely tap into those like, I'll say niche audiences for anything in culture where there's a feral demographic like a K-pop, like fanfic especially goes so hard. And then that organic growth you're looking for, I think if you had an innate way for users to share their experience so people could see it on other platforms and then kind of realize like, hey, this is cool, this is interesting, like what does this look like if I were to do this? Think about like the syndication of the type of content people are creating on your platform. And then, you're one viral TikTok away from hitting that trend. Like, we've all seen it, whether it's like with a song or a product, and it hits overnight. Comics are interesting because it's like old school and it has that like nostalgia vibe. And I think there's like, I'm invested in a company called mod retro. The thesis is that the future is retro, and I believe it. I think like there's this pendulum in life in general, and I think like with tech where it is now, retro consoles and like anything that makes like, you know, our generation feel nostalgia, I think has like a huge opportunity to work. So like I could see comics making a resurgence, especially like I'm a collectible guy.
Cool.
So like trading cards for me, not as much comics, but I man, this is like a diehard audience for comics, and if you can bring it back in a cool way like that, it's cool. Sounds cool, dude.
I think we can all attest to this, and I think you guys are earlier in your careers, which will be like very successful. But like, I've made a lot of mistakes and lost money on investments. Like Logan's might be a little bit more public, right? Like he made a bad video, made a good video, made some mistakes. I think the most important thing is just like, don't ever stop.
It is true. If you don't adapt, you die, and if you stop, you die. Like if you just keep going, like this shit's a marathon and a half. It's a lifelong game.
I mean, I just pride myself, like a personal model is like just be really hard to kill.
Be hard to kill, yes. Yeah,
It's like don't die, be hard to kill.
Yeah.
If you actually learn from every single mistake and you keep compounding, I think that's like a very good mantra that I hold in my head. When things are very stressful, I just think about doing one thing a day. I think a lot of people want to like boil the ocean all at once. And it's like, okay, I need to like hire someone, I need to fire someone, I need to go raise money, I gotta kill that vendor, I gotta think about a competition. And there's a lot to think about. And I think a lot of people paralyze and just like never get anything done if you're just working on 7 things at once. So if you just focus like, okay, like I'm gonna put this video out today, I'm gonna make this higher today. And if I do extra stuff on top, that's great. And I think most people actually don't even do one good thing a day. I think most people probably make 10 good things a year because they're not thoughtful of where they're spending their time.
I don't know if you guys are setting it up as like each partner makes their own decision, or is it one team decision together?
It's a team.
But so how are you guys going to like come in and have a conversation with founders and basically say we're the right partners for you moving forward?
Yeah, I think it goes back to just my comments earlier around you guys are very smart and qualified and ambitious. So I think getting money is actually the easy part, right? Actually building something valuable is actually really, really, really hard. And it takes a lot of time to do. A lot of how we started Anti Fund is that like we've had to deal with investors and different partners over our careers, and I think just from a base level, we wanted to be the version of VCs that we wanted as we're coming up in our career, right? So I think instead of being like overly corporate or formal, I think we just wanted dogs in our corner that would like advocate and fight for us and plug us into our network. So I think if you think about the right founder mentality, like you have to be the domain expert in your space. Like if you're not the smartest or can be the smartest person that's going to be changing your industry, like that your bar for yourself is too low, right? Like you need to be the domain expert in your specific sector area. So that to me means that you need to find partners that are, and I think increasingly if you buy that the future is taste made by other tasteful people, then you want people with access to different networks than you and people that can change the narrative for you. I think that gets increasingly important when AI, automated labor, commoditizes like the product and the services. What I think will be harder to replicate is like how can you just get mind share in the market, right? Like regardless if you're making a consumer product, you're making a foundational model, you need to just get mind share to hire good talent. You need mind share to sell your product. You need mind share to get money. So if Anti Fund can, with folks like Carlo and Coco, be that surrounding rocket booster to amp up your visibility in the capital markets, in the talent networks, in the downstream customer markets, like that's very valuable. So I think that's what we think about in terms of how to bring Anti Fund, right? It's not just our money. I think again, money is the easy part. It's like, okay, is there a very clear way that Logan can put you in touch with like the right IP holders and like help get that initial boost and some like ideas in terms of how to get that launch going, right? Like there's a lot of just like strategy, but there's also just like technical stuff in terms of like clipping, all the stuff that these guys like forget more about how to like go viral than like most people have ever learned. That's like the idea. Like just like we want to work with world-class people, I think we're very serious that we want to be world-class venture capitalists. And that means competing and partnering with like the very best in the world.
By the way, these guys have invested in like, I'm sure you guys know, right? But you know, Ramp, Cognition, like all of the best. So I thought the tweet was pretty funny when some guy came out this week and was like, I don't want these guys on the cap table. And then Jeff answered back saying, you know, well, fuck you, I don't want to be on your cap table.
Basically.
Jeff's clapping back, dude.
But,
Yeah.
And I think, Logan, for you, like what would be interesting is just to hear, like what is, you know, what excites you. You know, because you know, the funny thing is also like these announcements on Twitter and social media makes it seem like you're just new to this, but you're not. You know, you've been doing this for a while, so it's like what are you looking for? What excites you about the space, about technology in general, about people, and sort of what kind of founder you want to be backing?
Yeah. So I've had some pretty successful investments myself, which siloed from Jake.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because like we're brothers, but like we're separately doing investments, completely independent of each other, but both have like bro, we got some solid investments. And so when I looked at my brother's brands, the two that have always stood out to me were his boxing promotion, MVP, Most Valuable Promotions, and Anti Fund. And him and Jeff over the past 5 years have got this crazy track record of investments and a thesis that I like deeply resonate with. And so when I looked at the investments that I was doing and what Jake was doing, I inevitably came to the conclusion that my little brother made a move in the VC world smarter and quicker than I did in just like entering and placing his money strategically, institutionally. And so I told Jake, I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna start a fund. Like, I feel like I can do this, like, you know. And then he mentioned potentially joining Anti Fund, and I was like, wow, that's amazing, because I love the brand, and I think their thesis of anti is directly related to something I've personally done my whole life. Like my brand, my nickname in the WWE, I've called myself this for 10 years, is the Maverick. The Maverick is someone who's unorthodox, independent thought of others, goes right when people go left, and like Anti-Fund is that. I look for unbalanced compounding in a way where, like, I think Jake and I, some people are like, oh, the audiences overlap. It's kind of the same thing. You don't need both of them in one fund. I look at it as like a 1 + 1 = 3 situation, and now with Jeff, it's 1 + 1 + 1 =
9.
6, 7.
Exponential.
Like, math isn't mathing in a good way. But yeah, I love what these guys have built, and I think like even just this trip is an example of how we could complement each other. My brother's got a fight in 10 days. He can't be here, but we have a whole week of, you know, pretty heavy hitting meetings lined up here in SF. Well, I could be here. There's fucking two of us, and it's like this. And I think we both also bring different things to the table, you know?
These guys are proper investors. They're competing. Like we've done a lot of deals together. You guys would know it, Vigil. If you guys are raising, if you guys are thinking about raising, keep these guys in mind. Because, you know, when you think about Logan and Jake, you're like, oh, it's impossible to get to them. Like, it's possible to get to Jeff, I can tell you that. And he's fucking awesome. So, you know,
Logan's right here. Like, forget about me. Like, talk to this guy right here.
Really, like, think about it, because we've seen the sort of value they've added in our portfolio companies, and it's like, you know, they've basically become one. I'm slightly biased because I'm actually an investor in Anti Fund myself, but they're one of the first partners we think of when we put rounds together. And for you guys that know us, like, we take that really seriously. I've tried to sort of get it out a little bit of Logan and Jeff. It's very clear why they can win. You know, there's other influencers and stuff like that starting funds. I think, you know, that's great. Portfolio track record just speaks for itself here. So it's about compounding that. So
one thing we're definitely trying to avoid heavily is like being a celebrity fund. Jake and I are both very hands-on. I think the boxer sports influencer persona is just that. Like, they're kind of personas, to be honest with you. Like, bro, I was studying industrial and systems engineering before I dropped out of college, simply because making vines was more fun. But like, I'm a nerd at heart, and I think in this particular endeavor of ours, providing value in ways that typical capital investments would not is like our MO. The network now is vast. We know a lot of fucking people. We know a lot about speaking the language of the internet. We are encouraged and enthusiastic to provide value in ways that like other VCs just like can't, no matter how hard they try, bro. Like he said, and I'll say this arrogantly as fuck, like when it comes to making content and getting attention online or getting traction for your company or brand, if that's important to you, like, bro, we just, we know so much. Like that's our forte. And it's important for us, I think, to also be able to bring that value. And that's why we're here. And I think that's like a piece of the puzzle that we're gonna fit well in. I am very lucky to be a professional wrestler because they have me for one day out of the week. Granted, yes, I travel, it's a long day. We'll have our Saturday events and sometimes they'll need me for more, but I have 6 more days in the week. And as a hyperactive person who has a bit of like ADD anyways, it works really well because I have a lot of time to do other stuff. Mm-hmm. So Anti Fund and a few other things, I got about 5 or 6 things that I'm gonna that's it, 2026. I have my 6 verticals, and like we allocate energy and time accordingly. And
both Jake and Logan meet so many different types of people, both young talent and industry leaders. And it's like, what is something that can be universally used to build business relationships with people? And I think actually a venture firm is actually a very flexible vehicle to either get people as speakers at our summits, co-investors in our best portfolio companies, LPs, someone that we can invest in. So I think in terms of like capturing the goodwill that Logan generates in the world and the goodwill that Jake generates in the world, a venture vehicle is actually a very good way to just like be a flexible sponge to capture that value. Yeah. Like Logan met Vlad Tena, the CEO of Robinhood, randomly in Puerto Rico. That's a very cool interaction, but like what do you do with them? We're having breakfast with them on Thursday. We're gonna talk about ways to like plug in the Robinhood platform.
Yes, now I have a VC arm that we can direct attention capital or like collaborative and strategic partnerships to.
Logan and Jake basically established what an influencer really was. They were the archetypal influencers. And I think now moving forward, as AI automates intelligence, the argument is that people who can actually dictate taste and drive people's attention get more valuable over time. And I feel like Genius Ventures, I think very similarly in terms of getting early and setting the culture. And I think bringing people in groups like this together is very, very valuable. Yeah. So I know everyone here is like very prestigious and busy, so appreciate you guys making the time to hang out with us. When I look at his track record as a founder and entrepreneur, like he's built the fastest growing beverage in history, right? Prime has sold $1 billion plus in revenue. Lunchly, competing with Lunchables, partnered with Mr. Beast. And they're one of the fastest growing companies ever. We're already noodling on different startups and different incubations.
What are we doing next?
So
we got it.
So I think when people look at Logan and Jake as like a jock or a internet YouTuber content creator, I think people just really fail to remember that Logan has been at the top of this field for 15 years and has built multiple multi-billion-dollar ventures that are at the top of their field. So like rooms like this is really cool because I think that each of us have that desire to be the top of our field or the potential to be there. So hopefully with this dinner we can help each and every one of us fully maximize that potential and be the top of our respective fields. So I'm very excited to do and share this time with all of you.
Hell yeah.
Logan, want to say some more?
That was very nice. I think what him and my brother have built with Anti Fund is something that I've been looking at from a distance for the past couple years, and I think the brand that they built and their thesis is something I resonate with deeply. If you want to separate yourself instantly and be known and potentially make your mark in this world,
go right when other people go left, and like you're already off to a good start. As Jeff said, this is my kind of crash course into SF and tech and investing world, and I can talk about myself a lot, but I have a podcast to do just that. Not as successful as hers, obviously, but I'd rather ask questions and listen and try to learn as much as I can while I'm here for these next few days. And we're in a room with really successful people who have all made their mark and will continue to make their mark. And so, yeah, I'd love to listen and converse, and if I can answer any questions about stuff that I've learned in media or culture specifically, I can do that.
What is Presidio?
Presidio is
It's
this
like a
old
part of
region.
San Francisco.
It's a federally controlled region within San Francisco.
What the fuck?
So like it used to be a military base,
Yeah.
so it overlooks the Golden Gate Park.
Whoa, cool.
And it's known to be like the nicest part of San Francisco.
It's nice. It looks really nice.
Because it's like a country club.
It looks like a campus.
You guys are each building really cool things. Very happy to answer questions from our investing approach, or just even in terms of building a personal brand, all of that. But first and foremost, I think the venture business and building companies is a people business. So very excited to not just be business partners, but just build friendships and relationships that span over years and decades to come, building together. So welcome, and excited to use this as a kickoff to do more together.
What's up, everyone? I'm Logan, most famously known as Jake Paul's brother. I'm the new guy in Anti Fund, but I just want to ask questions and listen well today. And if you guys have questions for me or Jeff on what we're doing, or like he said, on anything building personal brands or building brands in general, that's what I'm pretty fucking good at, I'll be honest with you. Anything with getting the word out, like I'm more than happy to be a beacon of knowledge in that regard. But I'd rather just listen. Maybe we do like a round of intros. See what everyone's up to.
This is iconic.
This is actually iconic. I was thinking about this. Founders Fund, I think, is very much like Anti Fund, minus the multiple billions of dollars they've deployed.
They're older brothers.
They're older brothers, but I think actually like they're very like anti as well.
Yeah, 100%. That's why we're allying up.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So like the fact that a human verifying the condition of a card and then like solely that is what places the value on the card. Like a human who could have had a bad day. His wife left him last night. It's the end of the work day. He's like, fuck this card, it's a 9. Like it's subjective, no matter how you cut it. Like
Right.
and they don't write it down.
Right.
Just here's a 9, random guy says so. Is fucking insane. No matter how you cut it, that makes no sense. Doing it with AI grading.
You can just scan it.
You still send it in. Okay. They send it to the machine, they slab it, they'll give you 1,000 data points on why you got a certain grade. But like, dude, to me as a collector, there's no reason that all of this shit shouldn't be automated with like data points you can track about why a card got a grade.
You should get it turned around in a couple of days.
Dude, it's so quick. It's insanely quick. So we're actually visiting them on Friday to like see if there's a play. They're in LA.
That Logan and I curated tonight, I think it's really just some of our closest friends and partners. I think every one of you guys are just world class at what you do. I know that Eric and Rudy came in from Abu Dhabi, New York. They're flying back to New York. Mark Roberts came in from Cabo, flying back out tonight. Parvinder came in from London. So appreciate everyone making the effort to come in here tonight. So
Thank you
venture,
so much.
appreciate your time, and I think you're changing the world, and I think all of us are here excited to support in that and make our own little impact of changing the world. I think beyond just business, it's like I think all of us just want to spend good time with good people, and building stuff with good people is just like what the joy of life is. So appreciate this time to just get everyone together, talk shop, and
Cheers.
have fun.
Cheers to that.
Appreciate it.
Cheers. If you're ever wondering, you're like 3 months, like what happened to that brown guy that I met in San Diego? I'm still in this.
Yeah.
Whipping engineers. No, we started the company 9 years ago from zero. And it's a real machine now.
Yeah, it actually is. Why have the intuition to start a company like this?
Get rich or die trying. Like I said, I grew up poor.
Yeah.
And so for me, like the best idea I think I had when I was young was, the way you really make nonlinear wealth is you own the thing.
Yes.
After I did the last couple of companies, started working at YC, I was like, I'm already rich now. I don't do like starting companies for money because I already have money. And then I was like, actually, I hate working for people too. And like YC was great, Sam was great, Google was great. I worked for Jen Fitzpatrick there, as senior as you can get, but it's like it's not mine.
Yeah.
And I think that like motivated me.
Yep.
And that's just in your brain.
Yeah.
That's just in your heart. Are you guys doing late stage investing?
I mean, I think that's where, again, I think a lot of the realization that we have is that we're trying to be extreme barbell now.
Yeah. You gonna do SPVs on the other end, on the big side, or what do you want to do?
I think we have some dedicated large partners that can help us take down 100
Family offices or what?
One of our big capital partners is a group called Aquarian. They have a $220 billion life insurance book.
Yeah. So like institutional LPs.
Yeah. And I think the realization is that 18 to 28-year-olds are now in their prime as founders of next generation of companies.
Yeah.
All of these kids grew up watching Jake and Logan.
Yeah.
So I think we do feel like we have some advantage in finding people early. And then I think in terms of like...
So I was at YC when Ashton Kutcher started doing his thing.
Yeah.
Joe Montana obviously was Michael. What's the forget the big side of the barbell. I get that. Late stage I get.
Yep.
A handful of good companies, you use your brand to break in,
Yep.
and you write big checks.
Yep.
137 is doing that.
Yep.
1789 does
Yep.
that. That's a good strategy. You make a lot of money doing that.
Yep.
That makes sense. On the seed side, what's the strategy? Do you want to do lots of checks? Do you want to be active in YC? Ashton Kutcher basically did a little bit of like pick off the YC runoffs with Ron Conway. Basically, that was the strategy.
Yeah.
And it was like limited success. I mean,
I feel like basically like we're friends with Ashton. We feel like he's just okay in the sense that like he doesn't actually have distribution. It's not like he's making content. Like he's not in the mix, right? Like when the president wanted to go on the podcast tour, right? Came on Logan's podcast. The incubation where we have Jake or Logan anchoring the business and like incubating that, I think our aperture of ambition is getting broader and broader, right? Like I think with Prime, it was like $1 billion in sales in year 2.
Yeah.
So like I think we have some equity or value in terms of just like incubating. What I've realized just coming more from a Silicon Valley background is that most of the managers and agents and business folks around traders are just not the tier of quality that we're used to here. He said he called 5 Hollywood people and 4 of them told him to talk to me. So I think we're already building this brand and top of funnel of the future creator, entrepreneur, archetype humans. So I think that's like one bucket, and we have Logan and Jake as like spearheads of just continue to incubate. Hit it off with Sam Altman at the inauguration, and then we helped them launch Sora. So if you saw like the launch of Sora, it was like basically a bunch of Sam memes, and it was like a bunch of Jake Paul memes. So I think he told us last night that there's 1 billion videos generated with Jake's NIL.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It was insane, dude. And credit to OpenAI, like they were like, hey, like, what do you think about the simple nuance of like the logo or like other things that they were trying to develop, and we were just giving them advice on it. When it came time to launch, Sam texted us and he's like, hey, like, would you guys lend us your likeness? Because people are just making memes of me. I was like, yo, that's fucking crazy. People can make videos of anything? Yeah, I'm all right. And Jake was like, yeah, let's fuck shit up, bro. Jake was like, I'm in. Jake did it. 1 billion impressions in 6 days. Sora popped off, and I think it went a long way for Sam and the OpenAI team. Credit to them, because Jake and I both pride ourselves on being minds first, marketing minds at the moment. We also just happen to be the products that we are marketing, but that's why this thing is fun. Again, it's a long-term play where like I don't always have to be the one in front of the camera. I can actually just give marketing media strategy, and that's good.
We've known Sam. Sam.
Of course.
Sequoia's known Sam.
I met Sam when he was
actually.
19.
Yeah.
Wow.
Me
When
too.
we first invested in Looped.
Luke, no way.
We dropped out of college. At the closing dinner, he didn't drink a beverage.
What do you guys see some of the frontiers in marketing, or whether it's other platforms coming up that are interesting, or in AI, like this character likeness, or with the foundation models? Like, what are some of the things you guys are thinking about?
I know we both believe like AI influencers, AI musicians, AI actors are like, unfortunately, but like maybe fortunately, will become a thing.
Yeah.
People will be looking up to synthetic people who like as
You guys
like.
back Lil Michaela, right?
Yeah, long
Are
time
you
ago.
serious?
Right, yeah.
That's fucking
Our partner,
sick.
our partner
is early.
Yeah.
I think
That's
it's
exactly
too
what
early,
it
but I think
is.
the idea is correct.
It is coming.
There'll just be a bifurcation of people that are real, like Logan and Jake will accrue more power. So I think there is like a land grab of, okay, you gotta just build your real human brand now, and they're gonna have an army of flood of just like perfect looking, 24/7 on synthetic influencers. It might be existing platforms, honestly, right? Like I think the existing players that own the platforms are smart.
And by the way, this guy, like, I've never heard him ask for photos.
Let's go. Let's go. Is this a Sequoia tree? It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
It is.
Let's go. I'm a genius.
It is.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, I can tell.
You're like, count three.
When was it alive?
This has gotta be a 1700s tree.
Do you know?
Maybe a little further back.
Further back?
38 million years.
Oh!
38 million years ago.
Oh! Oh my
This is
god.
long-term thinking, Logan. This is.
Dude, I love it. Shit's so cool.
That's
bro.
why I was like, dude, like,
Shit's so
you
cool.
have
You
to
stack these meetings, bro.